Hey guys, Hutchie here, and let's start off by saying that I like JD from NY. I watch his stuff all the time. I catch it live on occasion. I love that he is an island unto himself. Doesn't have a company or staff, doesn't have to worry about booking talent later and shitting on other companies or things that are going on. He can say whatever he wants, and he has made a huge, huge success of himself, and I respect the hell out of him. Which is why I couldn't wait to hear what he had to say about John Cena, especially after the news about Hog. For the first time ever, I got in my car and did a talking head video. I was so hot about the idea that Charmin Soft, Monet, and the Hog management and Amazing Red and them and Brian Excel, they might have taken him off commentary because of past comments or because of heat from the IWC or wrestling Twitter or whatever. It made me hot. And when I went to tune into JD, he spent about 40 minutes not really giving anybody any information, but letting us know that we're all a bunch of marks and that nobody knows what's going on. He didn't know what was going on. Monet had nothing to do with it. Maybe she did, maybe he did. By the end of it, nobody really knew anything other than we're a bunch of stupid marks that made him and his name trend more than the event and the match, and the fact that Monet did her first indie date in 15 years, and all anybody could talk about was him not being on commentary for the main event. So, made us all feel dumb, put us all in our place. Then he mentioned John Cena. I was like, here we go. He's gonna shit on this ridiculous segment that has ruined all of this with how much of a basic bitch nonsense it was with the fans, you guys are mean, I don't like you and you're mean to me. What was this? The most basic crap you can imagine. And I guess if wrestling's completely kayfabe and all of those matches, if he really did win all those matches and do all those make-a-wishes and he's such an altruistic babyface and he really won and won and won and won and you still hated me and you still booed me back and forth, let's go Cena sucks, and I can see, okay, fine. Then finally, I'm upset. Fine. Except what, The Rock had to let him know it was time for you to, be upset? What a bunch of nonsense. And of course, this is not kayfabe. We all know. Man, this ruined all of it. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's get into it.
How do you like it? I'm a novice at this. I make a few mistakes.
Justin Thunder Liger.
I don't know.
Okay, so this was all wrong, and I'm going to tell you why it was all wrong. It was ridiculous. John Cena came out and basically gave the most generic heel reasoning promo of all time. Insert almost every shit heel turn you've ever seen. You fans, you don't appreciate me. All of you people are disgusting. I try so hard. I'm not appreciated. It's literally generic 101 heel turn reasoning. And the reason it makes no sense is if you go back to the very beginning of The Rock, slitting the throat, the hug, the whole famous heel turn. What was this they've had a conversation in the back before? The Rock's you're not feeling appreciated, John? Yeah. Oh, I know. Trust me, I've been there. You feel like a puppet. Yeah. But you know what? When the time is right one day, I'll let you know when the time is. Let the fans know. Okay, Rock. How did this happen? Sure, I'm being a bit glib there, but give me a break. This is absolutely ridiculous. This promo should have been, you don't fight the cabal. You don't fight the Illuminati, the powerful. I mean, I don't mind him coming out in without new gear or without new music. The best part, the only good part of his promo was he was nothing new for you. I don't dress like you, dress like me. I don't dress like you. You don't deserve any of this stuff. And as far as I was concerned, he'd be I'm not putting time and effort into giving you what you want, into changing. You're all going to cheer and love the new music or know whatever. You don't deserve. I don't have time for that stuff. I'm famous. I have other things going on. Anyways, and I'm going to sell this gear that I had made for all of these tours because I wasn't going to just turn heel unless Cody forced our hand. See, okay, so here's the whole thing. Some people are saying that originally it was supposed to be Cody that was going to turn heel. Now, from what I hear, back in October, they made the decision or so around that time, October, November, that they were going to go with the Cena thing, maybe earlier. But if it was originally going to be Cody, which I thought there's no way, look how powerful this came off. How would they have changed it? I could see Cody being yes, Rock, I agree, and attacking Cena and being you're not going to come in here as a part-time. You're not going to take everything I've worked for. You're going to make me a fool, come in for number 17. Who do you think you are? And I could see maybe pushing it that way. But if Cena is the Hollywood heel, the only reason it makes sense that Cena is with The Rock is because he's part of the 1%. When Rock says to Cody, how many followers you got? You got 30 million? Rock's got 500 million. It's a different level. Your guest spots on Arrow and your friend Stephen Amell. You don't know anything. You're like, you think you're famous, you think you're rich, you think you're doing well. You have no idea the levels that are up there. The Rock is everything. The Rock is one of the most powerful people in the world, and Cena is part of this cabal. And I can see Cena's whole thing being like, you know, Cody, hustle, loyalty, and flow. When I came out as Thugonomics, that was the real me. And then when the people started to love me and I won the US and I won the world title and I'm like jumping into the crowd and I'm like, God, that was the real me. Hustle, loyalty, flow, never give up. Believe me, I was baby. I know exactly where you're coming from. My father in the audience, I begrudge you, Cody, not your father not being able to see your success right now because my father is in the audience. I got to hug him. I got to high five him. We got to go through it all. But eventually, and not eventually like the people booing me and not appreciating me and then me still putting on my mask and doing my thing. No, the mask comes from when you get really famous. You start getting into Hollywood. Like even the beginning, it doesn't have to be that long ago. The once in a lifetime that became twice in a lifetime, that could have been around the time that he realized. It was like during that feud. And after that I got into Hollywood and I started to realize. And that's when this all became the mask. That's when I started coming out. And it wasn't the real me. I know what's actually going on. I mean, with Travis Scott there not saying anything and obviously not being a wrestler and just being another on that level famous person. And you got to think there's some famous people that get famous and then like go up a notch, right? We're talking like Diddy level. Like Diddy was just a rapper and a producer, but then he became untouchable. And it's because of the secrets, of the skeletons, of the cabal. So this Cena should have been on that level. Should have been coming out like you don't know. And he's like, if you had accepted Rock's offer, I would have gone. I would have continued to play my Hollywood part. I would have sold my merch, and I would have been the good guy Cena coming back against Cody Rhodes, who's given in to his fears and baser desires of me taking his spot, and is given in to greed and wanting it all with The Rock, and I'm going to fight back. But because you didn't agree, I now have to take this route. Because no matter which route I took, this is all fake. Don't you understand? I don't mean wrestling's fake, predetermined. What I mean is like all of this, the glad handing, the Make-A-Wish, everything. He's like the last 10 years has been fake. Of the 25 years of my career, the first 15, believe me, it was all real. I was trying so hard. I loved the people. I loved the business. I loved everything. But then when I realized I'm above it, I became above it. I still love it. And I still love the people. But the people are the pawns. The people are what makes the machine going. And when a god doesn't concern himself with the ants. It's not that I don't love the fuel that fires the machine, that runs the machine. I love it. I need it. He's like, but I see it as that now. You know, and he can even like totally understand where Cody's coming from at the level that he's at finally. He's like, and you left and you came back. I don't know. And I could see if it was supposed to be Cody that went heel, think about his promo tonight, coming into the ring and being very matter of fact. Like, I don't know who this is. I was proud of you at one point, but I don't know who this is now. This is now just a whiny bitch. Mic drop. That's a John Cena in your face promo. You want some, come get some. Boom, whiny bitch. It's like they switched it all. But of course this way's better, except this promo sucked. Like this whole direction now sucks as far as I'm concerned. Like I wanted him to like bring in freaking Fatu and like go all like gangster. And I've alluded to before the connection between Jey Uso and Travis Scott. Imagine like 18 months from now, like past next WrestleMania, Jey Uso turning. I mean, the Yeet merchandise can only go for so long, and Yeet as a catchphrase, they got to kill it before it goes on too long. You don't want to be selling Bullet Club merch forever. Granted, the NWO went on too long, but they still sell the shirts. But Bullet Club's still going, all the factions, all the stuff. You got to know when to kill something. And imagine Jey Uso turning, being the head of the table, being with The Rock. There's so much here. Like, especially if Roman goes against him, then it's like Jey who steps up. You know, and then the fans are like blown away. Like if this is the era of making fans think twice, of the emotional reactions, of things like that. I've mentioned it before. But I was thoroughly disappointed here, and I disagree with JD's take on this. I was very surprised to see that he went in the direction of like, oh, I love this. I would have liked to have seen different music, different outfits, but you know, whatever, especially if my version of it, this was all fake. It's like, I'm going to continue to sell the merch that I was going to sell before my hand was forced at Elimination Chamber in Toronto, of all places. Even though the history of wrestling in Toronto is like really, really deep. We've had some amazing things happen specifically here. It seems like The Rock loves to do all his big stuff here. Yeah, so there you go. If we're gonna like touch on a few other things, should I touch on Hangman's perm? What the hell is with Hangman's perm? Jesus Christ. But let's continue with Raw just for a second here. The three-way now with the gals, with Rhea signing the contract. I'm seeing it a couple of different ways, but really there are 2 nights on WrestleMania. So if we're thinking about the possible 3 ways being like the women's match here for the title with Rhea and Bianca and Io, and the other 3-way possibility, which is Roman and CM Punk and Seth Rollins, these could be split over 2 nights, like fighting one guy one night, winner fights the guy the next night. And by guys, I mean gals, because with a championship on the line, that makes more sense, you know? But probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be a 3-way. And if I was WWE, fans, I haven't heard anybody mention night 1 main event being this 3-way. You got Triple H having a lot of success back in the day with Michaels and with the unmentionable Chris Benoit and that main event that they had. And he wants to have that same magic. And the women in the main event is always put over as like a women in the main event of WrestleMania. They always love to put that over big time. So I can see the entire 2 days starting with Jay and Gunther. Boom, opening match, Jay and Gunther. Main event night 1, the 3-way. Opening match night 2, the 3-way. Bam, hit you right into it, and then ending with Cody and Cena. I mean, it kind of has to be that way. I can't see it happening really any other way. I'm sure you might have an opinion. Let me know your opinion. And Penta, of course. Penta making his intentions clear with Braun Breaker. Both of them coming out on top in their matches this evening. And now Penta going for the IC title at Mania. Nobody wants to see Breaker lose, but he could lose to Penta and easily get over it, especially since, Night After Mania is a launching pad for him to go to the next level, go after Jey Uso for the title. They already had their little thing going on with the IC title in the past, but Penta can't lose going against Breaker at WrestleMania. Breaker can easily heal it up. And Penta, a new IC champ, that's going to be absolutely huge at Mania for him. And they mentioned that he was TNA champion again tonight, but also Lucha Underground champion. And I believe that Del Rey's Lucha Underground is owned by Netflix, the rights to it and the footage. So could we see, oh my God, a WWE version or resurgence of Lucha Underground? Jeff Cobb supposedly is on the internal memos, and Jeff Cobb is not a fresh young guy. He's like 44, 45. I mean, they could bring him in, throw a bit of money at Cueto, and there we got Matanza Cueto and Dario Cueto coming in, and we got more Lucha Underground, and we got Phoenix coming in, and we got all this stuff. And I know that almost might sound stupid. I'm not sure if I would even go that way, but you have the brand and you can go hard into the Lucha. Who knows what these guys are going to do? It is a whole different world. It's almost like what The Rock is talking about. He's like, you don't understand, 500 million. The Rock has 500 million followers. I'm at a different level. These people think differently. I mean, we're talking main Hall of Fame tickets. Some of them are in like the $7,000 range, $5,000, $10,000 range. This is different. It's all scaled ticket pricing. It's all looking at the bottom line. The kind of programming that's coming at us now, Legends of Futures, Greats, Evolve. They're already reusing that brand name for Evolve. I can't see them not reusing Lucha Underground. I mean, this is Hollywood. Remember, these people love their sequels. They love to rehash. They love to recast. They love to reimagine. And they love to beat intellectual property into the ground until it is dust and get every penny out of it. So who knows the kind of future we're going to see here. But as far as I'm concerned, I put out that video defending JD. It's great to see that we were all, of course, jumping the gun and nobody knows shit. He went on forever about it. Like, goddamn. But in that video, I was saying that I don't generally shit on companies, but I got to say, man, I'm shitting on this. John Cena, this was a generic bullshit reason, bullshit promo. And if you weren't in Belgium getting so much heat, I was sitting there talking about, I'm bored. I'm like, this is awful. This is awful. I need to start doing live reactions because, dude, that was awful as far as I was concerned. Anyways, please like, subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting us here. We're going to get you as many of these videos as we can in the future, and we'll see you in the next one.